Hi, I'm Mark McPherson. Welcome to another one of my blogs in the series, 52 blogs in 52 weeks, with each blog being about one of my 52 types of people who are poorly behaved and at times downright difficult. This week I'm talking about and writing about number 51, the threat maker. Now the threat maker is somebody who makes threats. But just before we go any further, let's clarify that. In some regard, we all make threats of one sort or another. Just take the parent, for example, who says, you will tidy up your room or you won't get pocket money. Well, that's a threat, isn't it? So let's differentiate between that sort of threat and what we're talking about here in this blog. We're talking about people who make threats which are unfair, unreasonable, unethical, immoral, that sort of thing. So let's differentiate. Now, just what is immoral, unethical, unacceptable, etc., of course, is open to debate, but let's not have that debate here. So let's take, for example, something that actually happened to a person recently. They were telling me about it, and they work on the front line of a rather large government organisation dealing with members of the public. And recently they had an episode or an event where someone came up and really threw their finger at them like this, and you give them that, I know where you live, I'm going to damage your cars, all this sort of thing. Now that's a threat. A threat to property, a threat to the person themselves and to the organisation. But I guess more importantly, a threat to the actual person. Now this is a police matter. This is something that you press the duress button and please, organisations should have these things. It's a police matter. And on top of that, if you feel threatened in some sort of way, physical way, well please, you need to really just get the hell out. There's no doubt about that. And that is of course one of my strategies that I offer in my top strategies. But look, let's look down the other end here, because it's all about power. And power is not a dirty word. And in the third part of my strategy for helping people deal with difficult people, I talk about power and decision making and a few other things, but power. And power isn't a dirty word. It's a word that's important, because if someone threatens you and they really don't have much power, it's not something to worry about. But if they have the power to actually hurt you, then it's a serious matter. But let's just go down here, because there's other sorts of threats that happen in the workplace that I find quite disturbing. Sometimes they're open and sometimes they're implied. So let's give an example of one. Someone has also told me that they got the feeling from their manager that if they didn't do extra work, do extra things for them, then they weren't going to get a very good reference. Now that's a threat, and a veiled threat or a hidden threat. But I've also heard other people make threats quite openly. The manager has said down to somebody, if you don't do this, then I won't give you that acting up position. Now that's a threat. You do what I want or I won't give you what you want. So those sort of threats are all to do with power. Because if the person above you doesn't have that power to make those decisions, well, does it really matter? So look, if you want to talk about the threat maker and how to handle these various things, especially these ones down here, these veiled threats or these threats by managers, etc. And of course they work up as well. They work from the side, whether it be from a union, from a colleague from another department. So they can come from anywhere. But look, if you want to talk about the threat maker, how to deal with threats, please go to my website, book yourself in for a time for me to call you, or email me and we can have a chat. And the same if you want to need some help or want to talk about dealing with any of these other types, please book yourself in. We can have a chat. Always obligation free, of course. Whatever you're doing, have a great time. I hope you're well. I hope you're happy. Look after yourselves. All the very best.